Welcome back to Cuppa TV. Joining me now is a lady who's probably better known as Vix from Fuzzbox, the lead singer-songwriter of the all-girl chart band, who had chart hits such as The Pink Sunshine and International Rescue, and were UK's most successful all-female band. Now up to new music and mischief, please welcome Vix. Vix, so great to see you. Thank you so much for coming on Cuppa TV.
Great to be here.
Vix, I mean, that one statement, most successful UK all-girl band, and that still stands today, is that right?
Yes, I mean, we found that out at it's 2010, so we had a Fuzzbox reunion, did a tour and a single and stuff, which was great fun, but part of me was really proud, and I still am, but part of me was really annoyed.
Because I thought, you annoyed?
Well, where are all the girl bands? We thought we were kind of just one, you know, on the crest of a wave, and there were going to be loads of female musicians, loads of girl bands, and you know, there are more than there were, but it's still.
But let's define band, because people will think Spice Girls as, but
band. They're not a band. They can't play instruments.
Band, it's an instrument.
Oh yes, you've got to be able to play.
You have to be able to play an instrument.
Not a vocal group, because obviously you've got people like the Supremes and Girls Aloud. And
fantastic. So in your band, what musical instruments do you play?
So in my band now, Vix and her mischiefs, we've got, I'm on ukulele and vocals, then we've got violin, cajon, which is like a box that you sit on and whack, like, kind of like for rhythm.
Do you hit it with a drumstick?
You can, you can use your hands, or you can use brushes and stuff, and she's got a fancy little pedal. She's got loads of gadgets, Mimi has. So Demi on violin, Mimi on cajon and guitar and all sorts of other clever things. And we've got Imi on double bass. Oh, so it's really quite a unique sound. I just woke up one morning and thought, I know what I want. I want another all-girl band. I want it to sound like this. And I had, you know, had the instruments in my head, even personalities and everything, and it was done within a week.
How
so it was
amazing
really
is that?
cosmic.
So let's go back, so where it all began. So how did you first start your career, Vix? How did it all start?
Well, we were just schoolgirls, and we were at a club when I was 15, I think, and we were always going out seeing gigs. We were mad on the sort of the live scene, and a band that were friends of ours called the Bang Sisters said they were playing. We said, "All right, who's supporting you?" They said, "We haven't got a support band." So we just basically volunteered and said, "Well, we'll do it." And we didn't have a band. So we went away and it was like, well, you know, Vix, you've been in the solo singing competition. You can be on vocals and you play a few chords, Joe. You can be on guitar. And it was just like that. And we botched it together the afternoon before the gig. And then, and then it went down so well because we were dressed really crazy as well. We had all mad makeup and crazy hair and silly tutus from the rag market, you know, bits of material our mums had cobbled together. And before you knew it, we had another gig and so on. We were signed up at our second gig by a local label.
Wow,
and then before we knew, we were sort of touring the world and on top of the pops and having hits, and yeah, it's pretty fabulous.
And did you think it would happen so quickly? Because it did happen so quickly, didn't it?
No, we hadn't, didn't have an inkling, no.
Isn't that great, though?
It was kind of good.
And then from there, so you did that. What year did you
so that was about sort of 91, really. I mean, it seems funny for a band like Fuzzbox, but really I would say it was over musical differences because you didn't really kind of cross-pollinate with different musical styles then. So, because I thought it'd be really nice to have, like, you know, soft girl's voice, but perhaps with dancey drums and, you know, maybe rocky guitar, but it's like, oh, you can't do that. So you seem to have to be really pigeonholed. And I think from starting off from being like 16 and then, you know, kind of being 21 or whatever, your musical taste changed so much. So somebody would be into disco or indie. I wanted to get more guitars in, and we just found it very hard to write together anymore, really. So went off and did our own things.
Ways, and now you've got this new band, Vix and the Mischiefs. Yes, and again, exciting times ahead, I think.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah, it's kind of Americana, so it's a bit kind of country. A bit folky, a bit rockabilly, you know, all that stuff. We do some covers and some quite quirky covers of things like Royals. We do a really nice version of some modern stuff as well as old things, and then loads of original material that I write. And
do you find that you've still got some fans from your old band, Vix?
Yeah.
Do they come and see your shows?
They do, they do. So we've started
to...
Oh, it's lovely, yeah. So we have started to put in like one or two Fuzzbox numbers as well in our own kind of
Pink
style.
Sunshine,
yes, Pink Sunshine.
Very popular, that one.
Yeah.
But again, do you mind that, or do you find that you don't want to do that now?
I mean, I don't want to particularly do a whole set. I mean, can you imagine something like International Rescue, you know, 5 or sort of Americana style? I just can't see it. Although if someone really begged, I might have a go for a laugh. But no, I don't mind. I mean, I'm fortunate to have had that as my background, and it was, you know, they were great days. So, but I'm obviously more interested in what I'm doing now.
And with the Americana band, which is the band you've got now, so just explain that to people who perhaps may not know what that is. What does that actually mean? Is there a way?
Well, I suppose Americana is, I mean, you might say, you know, you could have clothing and cars that would be under the banner of Americana as well, but it's that sort of mainly kind of retro 50s-y, you know, American sort of style stuff mainly. But yeah, our music is like country, rockabilly, folk, bluegrass, that sort of stuff.
And what about your age groups? Do you attract all kind of age groups that come to your concerts?
Yeah, well, we've actually just this weekend done a video for the first single, which is called Fame Is Your Driver, and we've got babies in it and toddlers. We've got people I mean, it's wonderful really, because it really shows kind of Birmingham and the West Midlands the way I see it, which is it's really diverse. You know, every different sort there. So I actually think that it will, you know, will appeal to all ages, because it's still kind of quite poppy. But
and what's that called again? Fame?
Fame Is Your Drive, and it's a bit of a Mickey take. Again, one of my sort of, I suddenly kind of went, oh, I really want to do a video that's like a Mickey take of X Factor and Britain's Got Talent, and I thought someone must have done it. So I was Googling, I was searching on YouTube, and I couldn't find anything like you know, I wanted people to come in like it was a real audition. And I couldn't find anything similar, so I thought, right, let's do it then. So, yeah, well, managed to get an amazing team together.
Fantastic. So who's directed it? Because we've actually got a clip of that. I don't know if you're aware today, but we've got exclusive just for Cuppa TV.
I've not been allowed to see it.
And for you, I don't think you've seen it either,
I've not been allowed, no.
So let's take a look at the clip now, and we'll come back.
OK.
Your 15 minutes fame starts right here. So enjoy it while it lasts and while believe. Will you save or sell your soul in the name of rock and roll? Some say that it's the price of fame, my dear. If fame is your driver, you're likely to crash. You're going to burn out, you're going to fast. If fame is your driver, you'll get to the top. Pull over, please stop. I wanna get old, I wanna get old.
Fantastic. That was amazing. What was it like for you, Vix, watching that for the first time?
Brilliant. I mean, that is work in progress. Yes. Mark Presti directed it, and he's actually winning a lot of awards at the moment.
Is he? Tell us about that.
Titanic Love, that short film that he's done. But he's a very talented chap. You should have him in.
Great. Another guest for Cuppa TV. Absolutely.
But we're very lucky. You know, I ended up producing it and casting it. And I did a silly choreography thing for a line dance. I wanted to do like a cheesy line dance. Everyone was really, really great. But the atmosphere was so nice. Everybody actually had a really good time. I mean, I've done a couple of things being an extra, and it was horrible. Really? You're like in a freezing cold room or a bus, like for hours, and nobody sort of comes to tell you what's happening. And it's really, really horrible experience that I've had, and a lot of other people I know. But we really looked after them, and they had a really fun time.
And you obviously enjoyed making it.
Do you know what? It's one of the best days of my life.
Oh, really?
Seriously, which at my age, you sort of think, I must have had a few good days. I had such fun.
Oh, that's
honestly, wait till you see the whole video with all the different little cameo parts in. And some people pledged.
Yes, I was going to ask you about that, the pledge campaign. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, some people pledged to have like a special little cameo role in the video. So pledge campaign, it's a crowdfunding site, so like Kickstarter and Indiegogo, where fans and friends, family, anyone who loves art, I suppose, can choose something they might want to have that's exclusive. So it'll be the new EP that's coming out next, which is called Music and Mischief. Funnily enough, you said Music and Mischief.
Music and Mischief, there we are.
But then there can be other things, like I could do a personalised happy birthday to them, or we could do a house party or signed artwork, loads of different things that they can have that are exclusive to them.
Fantastic.
And yeah, so if they go on pledgemusic.com, and we're on there, and they can
they can help you.
Yeah, be part of like.
And is that important to you?
Well, the fan base is important anyway, isn't it? And it's incredibly hard these days, because you don't tend to have the managers or the development deals from record companies that you once had. So you have to do such a lot yourself. You end up managing, promoting, booking blooming gigs and everything yourself, and so it's nice to have more hands to the deck. And I think it's really nice for fans, because they get stuff that nobody else has got, and they get everything before everybody else has got as well. Yeah, I mean the pledges start from £5, so it doesn't all have to be terribly expensive. And
But it's
so
just
on.
something that they can do, you know, to support you.
Yes, yeah.
Which is a great thing.
Absolutely.
And what's the future for Vix and the Mischiefs?
Ooh, well,
You'll have to come back on the show.
oh yes,
Would you come back on Cuppa TV?
with the whole band.
With the whole band?
Yes,
And
please.
perform your
We'd
single?
love
That would be
to.
wonderful.
Yeah,
No,
that'd be great.
absolutely fantastic.
That'd be fab.
Thank you so much, Viz.
Thank you.
Lovely to meet you. Thanks
Thanks
for coming
very
on
much.
Top of VE. Thank you. Welcome back to Cuppa TV. I'm still here with John Rushton, life doctor and emotions expert and author.
Yes.
John, it's fascinating to speak to you so far. Just before the break, we were talking about you as an author.
Yes.
So let's continue with that. So you've written 6 books,
Six
did you
books,
say?
yes.
And all about emotions and how people should deal with their emotions in different situations. Tell me what they're about.
Yes, they're all situational books, and they all come from different angles because emotions cover a myriad of different situations in life. I've got a new book coming out called Breaking Free, and I've also got a trilogy of emotional books coming out, which is actually being developed over the years of people's feedback all around the world of how they've gone through the most horrific problems, and they've come out of the other end smiling, and they have a life. And I've been so sort of privy to them telling me all about this in detail. It's just been amazing what some people have gone through, and you would never know. Because they've never said a word until all of a sudden they've come through it and they're now sort of smiling and think, yes, I've actually got a life and it was worth it. The journey was worth it. It was hell and high water, but nevertheless, it was
You've
worth
got
it.
there. So give us an example. What sort of things did you find out?
They're very complex, but
Yes.
it's people coming from states where they've been locked up, they've been beaten, they've been abused, you name it, they've had that done to them. They've been in situations where they think there's absolutely no future. How on earth do I get out of this? The wall is so high that they just can't even think, how do I even get anywhere near there? And yet today they're laughing, talking, enjoying life. And it's history, it's a memory, and they've decided to be happy. It's not, oh, if you knew my past, no way at all. They speak as if it's sort of quite comical, you know, oh gosh, what I went through. But anyway, let's move on to something better. And it's this attitude, and attitude is the biggest thing we have because attitude is a reflection of ourselves. It's all about us, it's how we think, how we feel, how we look, what we think about other people, what we think about the world, how we assimilate it. And that's us, that's our attitude, that's our unique selling point.
Yeah, it is talking about that because you have a glass. Some people say a glass half full or a glass, half empty, isn't
Yes.
it? So is it that sort of thing? Is that what you're thinking about there when you're looking at that? People's attitude to life.
I think if it is that half full or half empty, but there's also that other one. If it's half empty, there's still more room to put some more gin in it. There's something. It's your attitude towards it. It's not black and white. Life isn't black and white. It's full of millions of shades and colours and hues and textures.
And is a positive mental attitude a good thing to have? Would you say?
Always, always.
Why? Why, John? Tell us why.
Well, if your health is in good condition and your mind is in good condition, then your immune system is working at peak performance. If you actually allow your mind to go down and you're negative, your immune system automatically goes 10 to 15% down. And people who are predominantly negative develop things like sniffles and scratching and itching and twitching and tummy problems and bowel problems and goodness knows what. And you'll go to your doctor and the doctor will say, well, I've done all the tests, you're absolutely fine. And this is all psychosomatic. This is all about you actually working at less than peak performance because it's your mind. Where your mind goes, your body follows. So you've really got to make sure your mind is in tip-top condition. And yes, by all means, tell somebody if things are not going well, but don't tell everybody because then you're affirming your problem. Just tell somebody which it means something to. If you tell everybody, then you've actually made, as I said earlier on, you actually made this little mind gremlin.
Like a gremlin, as
Yes,
you were talking
yes.
about that, weren't you?
Yeah,
Yes, I hadn't really thought
exactly.
about that before, so I can see what you mean now by that. And do you think people do that? Do they tend to sort of tell their problems, share their problems with the world, and then that makes it worse?
Yes, because a lot of people like biofeedback. They want sympathy. There's nothing wrong with sympathy, but sympathy is an empty emotion. You know, if there's something wrong, and I say, oh, Monica, I'm really sorry about this. Oh, you must have been very strong to go through all this. Oh, you have gone through, and we've got to go now, bye-bye. Then what? You're left in a terrible state, and you've got to put something into it and say, listen, let's meet up for a drink next week. Let's go for a pizza. Let's come, something substantial. And so sympathy is this hollow thing. And then you get people who are emotional vampires, people who will sap other people's
Tell us
strength.
about those.
There are plenty around.
Yes.
You know, people will actually tell you all about their problems, and again, they're soliciting your energy. They want your sympathy. They want your feedback. All about me, me, me. Anyway, enough about me. Let's talk about you. What do you think about me? And it just goes on like that. It's me, whatever you do. And it's this sort of complexity. Get rid of it. Stop it. Because the moment you actually talk about other people, you've actually elevated yourself. You've raised yourself. And although you may not know it, you've actually brought yourself onto a higher level, which makes you feel better. And you feel more substantial, and you have more energy. And you think, yes, I have got something. I can do this. I'm no longer putting myself down. Why should I? Because if you put yourself down, there's nothing left.
It's very true, isn't it? It's always as you were saying there. You know, don't put yourself down. I think that's very true because people do. Why do people do that? Why do people put themselves down?
Sometimes it's just your upbringing again. Sometimes people do that to make the other person feel a little bit better, just to take the sort of the all about me attitude out, which is fine. Humility is brilliant. It's a fabulous thing to have. But if you carry on doing it, subliminally, if all you say is putting yourself, oh, I can't, oh, it's all right for them, oh, I can't do this, I can't do, you know, what can you do? You actually stop being a human being. You're becoming an excuse for a human being. And you're not an excuse for a human being. You're a living, sentient person. Enjoy life, smile. Every time you smile, you've won. It doesn't matter what's happened, whether you pranged the car, where someone shouted and screamed at you, or stolen your wallet or your purse, you've won. The moment you give in, you're now battling with it, and that's what people do. They battle all their lives. They have this anger which comes up inside them, and this anger then subsumes all their thoughts, and anger is only something which is going to hurt you because you're the only one thinking about it. It's like sort of drinking poison and hoping somebody else will die. It never happens. You've got to make sure you get rid of it. I know it's difficult because at times I want to get them, I hope they break their leg and all this kind of thing. It happens, it comes over us, but don't let it dwell within you, because if you do, again, you're not doing yourself any service. You're doing yourself a disservice. You've got to love yourself because you're worth it. You are definitely worth it.
Sean, it's been absolutely fascinating. I could spend all day listening to you and talking to you, but we've got to finish there, I'm
Yes.
afraid. But thank you so much,
My
John.
pleasure.
Come back and join us again on
I
Cuppa
love
TV.
to, Monica.
It'd be
Thank
lovely to
you.
see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
So I'd like to thank my guest today for coming on to Cuppa TV. And if you would like to get in touch with us, you can join us on Facebook or Twitter at Big Centre TV, or you can email me at the show. I'd love to hear from you. To finish off the show today, though, we've got two members of local band Regale who popped into the studio to perform a track for us. They'll be joining me later on in the week so we can have an interview with them to find out some more about them. But until then, let's listen to Regale.
Walk like the child, so you ride it on down. Staring at down, you wanna be more than friends. In your eyes, I see freedom, yeah. Taking a high. You're doing a dance, and you're both holding out for the little romance. Yeah, when she smiles and you smile back, yeah. taking her home. Gonna hit the right spot. In your eyes, I see freedom, yeah. When you smile, and she smiles back, yeah. You got the moves, we got the moves. You got the moves, you got the moves. We got the grooves, let's make a move. You got the moves. Say fucking dancing, man, come on.